Okay, we'll start streaming there and then start streaming here. All right, we were live on all three. Oh, I forgot about the music. I was going to play some music. There's still time. Afternoon. This is probably going to kind of test how far YouTube will let this go. I don't know. This song is really popular. Hey, Lockpicking Turtle on YouTube. Great to see you. A terrible name. Atheist Knitting, good to see you. First time coming in. I hope that I have an entertaining show today. Just pause this. Pause that. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Miko, good to see you over on Talk. No Verdict. I don't think I recognize No Verdict. Good to see you. Thank you for the heartbeat. Let's see. Let's see. We've done the Windows, Discord messages. Everything's complete for going live. Jesus is God. Request up if you'd like to talk about that. I think Christianity makes no sense. This is the Shark Show with Sarah Shark, sharking up the shark waves. Hey Alexander, good to see you. So unfortunately, tonight's guest is Jesus, but he's running late. As you can see here, God sent me this message. He's saying Jesus is running late for the show. And so, sorry, I'm taking a sip of tea. So, hey, Mr. Zeke, I see you walking through. Good to see you. Yeah, so, we're still waiting, but I have it on good authority that he's on his way. I've heard it from a lot of Christians that Jesus is coming. Let's see, what is it? People get ready. Jesus coming home. Something like along those lines. He's supposed to swing by the studio, but so far no one has found. He must have got held up, doing something else. Excuse me. Thank you for the heart muse, Alexander, Mr. Zeke, no verdict. Appreciate that. Yeah, 2,000 years late, exactly. I was calculating this the other day for a little joke for the monologue when I was trying to do a monologue for the show, but I did that once. I just haven't had time to really do it again. Writing a bunch of stupid little jokes is really, really hard. I have nothing to talk about, so yeah, I have to think about that some more. Only 1,900 years. Let's not be too harsh. Traffic can be bad. But like Christians like to talk about how a day is like 1,000 years to God, and so by that logic, you could say that like 1 year, is like 1,000 or like 365,000 years, right? Each day being a year or 1,000 years. And so then if you extrapolate that out to how long Jesus has had coming back, where was the number? It's 730 million years. No guess yet. It's been about 10 minutes. Well, while we wait for someone to come by, let me I'm gonna find. I've got a I've got some sponsors I gotta read for. So let's go ahead and we'll read for these. Let's see. I really need I need some music. Oh, I got a guest.
Hello.
Oh, hey, how's it going? Are you over 18?
Good, how about you?
Good.
Sorry?
Are you over 18?
Yeah, I just have a very weird voice.
Okay. Yeah, are you a Christian?
Yes I am.
Okay. I don't think Christianity makes any sense. Do you have a reason for why it makes sense to you?
Do you have a reason why it doesn't make sense?
Sure, 1 second, sorry.
Since
So-
I believe it all makes sense, so it would be stupid just to give you all my reasons, you know?
Okay. I guess that would be stupid. I don't really know why it would be stupid to give me a reason as to why it makes sense.
Oh, because there's historical evidence proving Jesus' resurrection.
Proving the resurrection. Can you show me that?
Yes, do you know who Paul is?
Formerly Saul.
Sorry.
Paul, that was Saul, the one that had the vision.
I'm pretty sure there's multiple Pauls, but there was
Well, there
one
are.
Paul who he was an atheist writer. He used to debate at the time of Jesus. He wrote about it. He didn't like Jesus at all. He thought he was demonic, but he met Jesus. He didn't like him at all. But when he resurrected, Paul was one of the first people to see him, and that day he became Christian or Catholic or whatever you think, or whatever there was back then.
Where do I find these writings from Paul?
Just look up in the internet like Paul's writings.
Just look for Paul's writings. Are they the ones in the Bible?
No, there's no writings in the Bible from Paul. There's a different Paul. Like there's Paul in the Bible. Like someone named Paul is mentioned, but he doesn't gospel, and it's not the right Paul I'm talking about.
So it's like Gospels?
Sorry?
This claim is really unspecific, and it seems like you maybe don't know anything about this religion, and I'm unsure if you're actually a Christian.
No, I'm a Christian. It's an outside source from the Bible.
Right, so can you tell me what it is instead of telling me to search up for Paul? That doesn't...
Yes, it's Paul's writings.
Okay, so we'll just see how well this works. Paul's writings, just that, nothing else?
33 AD.
Paul's writings, known as the Pauline epistles, are foundational New Testament fathers addressing early Christian churches and individuals. Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. You're correct. Covering salvation, faith, church life, and ethics, with scholars generally agreeing on 7 letters, Romans 1, 2, 1 and 2. Oh, so it is the writings from the book, from Paul, the Pauline epistles.
No, it's outside sources.
What are the outside sources?
Paul's writings.
Known as the Pauline epistles? Letters?
Yeah.
You're referring to inside sources and calling them outside sources.
No, I'm pretty sure they're outside sources.
You're pretty sure?
He wrote his own thing, his book.
I'd much rather talk to Jacob. Jacob, how's it going?
I'm doing a lot better today. Thank you for having me up again.
Oh, that's good. I heard you talking to Mezzo yesterday, and you sounded a little it didn't sound like you enjoyed the conversation that much or something. I'm not sure.
No, not really. It was nothing of what I was expecting at all. Now I will know to just not go back up to Mezzo's, because there's a point of what I was really trying to make last night was I cannot tell somebody something that they do not want to hear. And I believe that's kind of where he was coming at too, because I was just so disagreeable with his thinking and his ideology, and so I probably won't go back up to Mezzo's, and I'm not going to do the 7-day Joel atheist trial or whatever he was talking about.
That's unfortunate, because I have a similar offer that I call Shark Week, but it sounds like you wouldn't be interested in that either.
No, not at all. I'm so certain of faith. Nobody will be able to change my mind on it.
Okay.
And that's kind of why I want to come back up, because you are total different from how Mezzo handles his audience and all that. And I sat there and listened to him for another hour, and I just, I couldn't. I can't do it again with him.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I always hope that everyone will enjoy it like I do, but I guess not everyone has the same taste. So I'm sorry that you didn't like it.
No, it's perfectly fine, and going back to kind of like how I was talking last night, I will never be able to see Christianity through the world view because I live this lifestyle. I am part of it. I am ingrained with it. I have a walking, talking relationship with Christ. You
Well,
know,
let's talk about
and
that. Let's talk about that, right? Because I used to believe that I had a relationship with Christ,
okay,
and now I don't know what that actually means when Christians say that. And when I ask for specifics about it, it doesn't ever sound like anything like a relationship.
okay. So, great question. For me, I it's along the lines of it's like talking to my friends. I really don't have a whole lot of people to listen to me. You know, if I've got a bad day, I don't have somebody I can just call up and be like, "Hey, this is what's going on." You know, and the people who I do have are often very busy, so I don't when I do call, they often don't answer. You know, so for me, my relationship with Christ is he is my best friend, right? I go to him for everything. I tell him everything. And it's difficult for new believers to really grasp the concept of it because there is a lot of sitting and waiting, a lot of listening, you know. And when I listen, I often and Mezzo's show was a great example of that. You know, I simply ask, Lord, give me the words, tell me what I need to say, tell me what I need to do, and the first thing that comes to mind, I say. You know, so it's a lot of inter. Uh, I'm trying to find the word for it, how to call it. Almost like meditation per se. Um,
Is that like do you ever do any
it's
automatic writing?
automatic writing.
Yeah,
I don't know what that
it's
is.
usually more connected to somebody believing in like demons or something like that controlling their body. But you can do a thing where you can just like start writing and not thinking, and you'll write like sentences and words and things, and then like you look back and be like, who wrote this? I've never done this, but like I've heard that people can do it. I think you can get to you can do this in. So I'm just wondering if you ever tried something like that when you're talking about these the Holy Spirit speaking through you. It could work through automatic writing too.
So I mean, I'm sure it could. However, I personally have never tried anything like that. You know,
Yeah.
I write music, and a lot of times my music is a form of prayer and conversations that I have with the Father and me. You know, a lot of it is it's me pouring my heart out uh, because I can't just sit and pray. You know,
Right.
I oftentimes feels like when you are praying and you are expecting an answer, some that phone line is just not connected, you know. So when you take it from expecting an answer, you like right then, you have to have the answer right then, right now. He's going to stay right here, right
Well, because
now,
that's how
right?
relationships work, right? That's why you have that expectation.
Well, I
So, like,
personally, me and my
I,
partner, you
well,
know, if I were to send him a
mm,
text right now, I know he will get it and I know he will answer me.
how
It
do you
may
know?
not
How
be
do you know
right
he'll get
now.
it? How do you know he'll get it?
My partner.
Yeah,
Okay, so I mean, it's just like if you were to text one of your friends,
yeah. I'd get
right?
like a red
You
receipt,
text your
probably.
best friend,
I get a red
right?
receipt, but
Yeah.
I don't get that from God because God
However,
has no indication that He ever heard anything.
but would you say your well, I guess I can say this, and I hope I don't say it wrong, but your relationship is broken with Christ, right? You don't have a form of relationship with Him. Did at one point, but now you don't,
I don't believe anyone does.
right?
I don't think God exists or that Christ is like alive or anything. Excuse me. And so I think it's impossible to have that kind of relationship. I think people have they have their own like a relationship with an imaginary friend essentially.
Okay. All right. Well,
I see no difference. I see no difference between the relationship with Jesus and a relationship with an imaginary friend. and then looking for things to kind of like make you believe that the imaginary friend exists, later on, where you're like, well, I talked to my imaginary friend about this, and I think that they heard me because they're my friend. And so and then later on, I saw this license plate that had like that word in it, and I said that word, and so I think they heard me, and they're showing me that they heard me. That's the kind of evidence that you get from the friendship. You don't actually get any kind of
Okay.
response. You don't get any kind of like real indication that anything was heard or that anything is happening in reality.
So with me, in my life experiences, I have had that for fact.
Okay.
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 So this is a great example. I'm in healthcare. This is my profession, and I have a very difficult case right now to take care of.
Mm,
I have been needing extra help from human services,
okay.
and so I was told when I made a report that it was so very uninvestigatable, nothing was going to happen. Okay. I then shared it with my grandmother. I asked her to pray. Will you pray with me? Pray over this situation with me, please. And we simply did. I talked to him. I gave him my concerns, and I lifted this person up. And the whole situation of it is, and I said, Lord, it's in your hands. Do what you want with it. If it is supposed to be investigated, then let it be investigated. If it is not, don't. And the very next day, as of yesterday, my partner was with me when this phone call happened. The people who the authority people, they contacted me, and they said they were going to in fact go and investigate it. Right. And so to an outside person, I'm kind of curious about what you got to say to this, because to me, this is complete evidence of being heard. This is evidence of being heard, you know, Christ hearing me, the
Why?
Father hearing
Wait,
me
hold
very.
up, hold up. What did you ask God to do again? What I
I
heard.
asked him if
Mhm,
it was to be investigated, let it be investigated.
exactly. So do you think it would have been just as much evidence if nothing had happened?
No,
Why? That would mean that it is not to be investigated.
but they said they were going to investigate.
Right. So in an alternate timeline though, right, you gave God an option. You said, God, let it be investigated if it should be investigated. Otherwise, don't. You basically said your will be done, meaning that no matter what happens next, you will say God's will was done. You will see that as confirmation regardless. You see this as confirmation because something actually happened. But like nothing about this seems related to what you said even. You just said whatever happens happens, and then something happened and you said, well, I asked for that to happen.
Yes,
You didn't
and to
even
me
ask
that
for a
is
specific
it
thing. You
is.
just wanted a specific thing, but you didn't actually ask for it in the words that you told me.
I know what I wanted. My heart wanted it to be investigated for the better situation of this client, of this patient.
Sure, sure.
I know what
I
I
understand.
wanted the outcome to be, right?
Okay.
So was it me projecting the outcome? It is going to happen. I know it will happen. I know it will. Is
No?
that of my
What?
own will?
You can't will it to happen. It's just a thing that happened and you also happen to pray. They're not connected. You can't show that they're connected in any way. It's just a feeling that you have that they are.
And right, and I understand that's how you see it. However, again, world eyes will see it as this, but people who
Mhm.
believe and have a relationship will see it differently. It is the provision, and I will not be able to change somebody's mind until they experience it firsthand.
Why did it need to be
And
investigated? Why can't God handle whatever this is directly? Why does it have to be handled in this circuitous, like, well, if people will do it, I guess we'll get it done? Why can't God handle this, whatever this problem is, directly?
good question. And very cliche answer because he is not part of his will. If he wanted this man to be healed, I believe very, very, very likely he would be healed.
Very likely.
And
What do you
in
believe?
today's time,
What do you
this
expect that on? Why do you think it's very likely he would be healed? I've never seen any evidence that prayer does anything more than a placebo, and I've never seen evidence that that people are healed by prayer. I've actually seen evidence that it hinders healing because people will expect, if they know that people are praying for them, it'll actually have like an anti-placebo effect where they will expect that maybe they'll get better and their body will not get as better because they're expecting a miracle. It's a weird phenomenon that I've seen in data, but at any rate, I haven't seen any evidence that any of this works. Why do you think it's more likely that they would be healed if God wanted them to be healed? I think it's more likely that things would play the exact way that they are because God doesn't exist.
So the question is, why is it more likely that I believe that it would?
Yeah, like what do you base that more likely on? Why are you so strongly saying like it's more likely they're going to get healed? Why is it so likely they'd be healed when you never see it happen?
I believe it's likely because of, and again, the cliche answer that every Christian gives, but it is truth. God is eternal power. I mean, last night you said Jesus blinded somebody, spit in their face, and then unblinded them. To you that is magic, to you that is sorcery. To me, it is because God is the creator of everything, and if He says, have a mountain jump up and move into the sea, the mountain would jump and it would move to the sea.
But it doesn't.
You know,
That's my point. No one ever does this. Never happens.
But how do we know what that looks like? We know that the Earth's crust is constantly moving. Land masses
Also,
are
it's
constantly
metaphorical magic.
changing.
You can't. That's a huge goalpost
No.
shift. When Jesus said that you could move mountains, he did not mean earthquakes will happen eventually when you pray. Like that doesn't make any sense.
But I mean, that was, I guess I said it not in a way of how I was thinking.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry to be so forceful. It's a very particular thing. Miracles and magic are very particular, and they're not demonstratable. And it's one of the big issues that I have with Christianity that I think it makes no sense is that these claims of miracles, it would be one thing if Christians believe that nothing like that ever happened, but you all believe that that these things occasionally happen, and you can't show any rhyme or reason as to why. And the book actually says that they should happen every time. And so it becomes very difficult for me to believe that any of them happen at all when there's no evidence of it. It seems to all be just like confirmation bias or some kind of a bias.
Okay. And I mean, I don't know how to answer you. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, that's okay. That's okay. It's more, Jacob, it's more for you. I know the answer. There's no God. But it's more for you. You got to think about these things. You can be free. You don't have to feel ashamed of who you are.
I think a lot of it has to do with is I was not free one time. I was not. I've had more healing in the last year because I have turned to Christ, because I have turned myself over, left the old self, given him to me, given him my entirety of my world. I now have things that are so much better now than what it was last year.
From what I've heard, the way that you talk about yourself, it doesn't seem like you like yourself in some capacity because of this religion.
That's the whole point of it. The whole point of being a Christ follower is to die to your old self and become a new creation.
The whole point is to hate yourself, actually, right? The whole point is to hate yourself to become a disciple of Christ.
No. It is to become the best person that you can absolutely be.
Then why do you hate yourself?
I am flawed.
Then why do you hate yourself, Jacob?
Because I am so flawed, because I am of flesh and bone and not of spirit.
Can you change that?
I will never be perfect.
So you'll hate yourself forever.
I will never be perfect.
So how
but I
long are you
can
going to hate yourself?
aspire to be like the example who came down and lived a perfect life.
You can do
And I
that.
know
You
you
can
don't
do
believe
that
this.
with you can
I
do that
understand that
without
you don't
hating yourself.
understand it.
Jacob, you can do that without hating yourself.
I don't hate myself. I love myself more than ever. There are things in my life that I have said, okay, well, I simply can't change this, and I have to fucking deal with it. Excuse my language, sorry.
You're fine.
However, there are things in my life that I am changing. There are
Okay.
things in my life that I have changed to make me that better person because I aspire to be more like Christ. Because I want to be the best person that I can absolutely be. And out of everything that I have tried, this works.
I don't get what was it that you were so bad about before? What is like you seem like such a nice person now. What maybe you have drastically changed. What was the thing that you used to be like?
This is something that I would talk to you about one-on-one. It is
Okay.
not something that I would put out onto
I
live
understand.
air for
That's fine.
hundreds of
That's a
people
very
to
personal
hear.
question.
So, and that's
Well,
where it comes into,
I want you to know that
well,
I think
just
that you're a nice.
trust me, you know.
Okay.
And I don't like giving answers like that because everyone gives answers like that, you know.
No, they don't. I think honest people actually give like evidence-based answers. I think I don't mean to call you dishonest, but I do think it's dishonest to yourself to just say trust me. It means that you don't know why you're doing this.
Well, and like I said, if you would like to have that conversation, then we can speak about it personally, and I will gladly share my testimony. I was a scumbag. I'm still a scumbag, just not as bad as a scumbag as what I used to be, you know. I'm working on myself so I can be better, so I can be the best potential person in my life, and it's not out of fear because, like I said, Meso, I could be totally wrong about this whole Christianity thing, and it could be very off, and it could just be the mind and within evolution, humans wanting to be hoping that there is a better something out there than what life is, you know, and it could be about that. However, I'm here today. I live my day as today, for the minute that I'm in, and I don't worry about what is going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to happen, and I'll take that day's challenges one day at a time. It's the only way you can live. It's one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 second at a time.
That's not true. It is what
And
Jesus teaches, but it's not the way you should live. You should plan.
so I do have a plan, but I live for today.
Okay, but
I
Jesus
have a
said, Jesus
plan for
specifically,
100 years
I thought you were
ago.
talking about specifically what Jesus said, because he said don't plan, right? He said the birds get fed, don't worry about it, you know, they don't worry about it. God will handle it. He doesn't, so you have to plan, but it's like against what Jesus teaches.
I will tell you this. I've been homeless twice. I've lived in my car twice. I have done what I could on my own to make situations better, and it stayed the same. I still stayed homeless.
Yeah,
When I
the
came
world's
back
not a
to
good
Christ,
place.
when I came back into my faith, and I actually said, God, I can't do it on my own. Everything that I have tried on my own, it's not working. I need you. I need your help. I need you to intervene into my life and do something about it. I received, you know, and I want to say, well, this is just Good Samaritan act. You know, somebody sees you in the dumps and they're trying to help you. However, I see it as God's provision. If I say, hey, I am hungry, and I walk into a McDonald's and I say, I'm hungry, can I please have something to eat? 9 times out of 10, and this is evidence-based for me in my life because this is a real example, I've done it. They have said, no, I cannot help you. I cannot help you. there's nothing we can do for you. On down the road, go to a Hardee's and say, I'm homeless, I'm hungry, I haven't eaten, can I please have something to eat? They will do it. They would do it. Not every
At a
time, not
Hardee's?
every single
Did you
time I
say a
went
Hardee's?
hungry. And I'm not saying just Hardee's. I'm talking in a very broad spectrum. As an example, I have done this.
Right. So,
I have lived this.
So some places gave out food and some places did not, and that means God exists.
Right. Absolutely. It's like, okay, a woman who
No,
is
I
a
don't want more
spiritual
examples.
woman
Please,
lived
Jacob, I'm
lived
sorry.
next to an atheist, right?
I don't want more
Okay,
examples.
and
This is
I'm sorry,
not going to make things more clear.
I'm not. What I'm saying is, to the world's eye, what I am getting at is the world's eye view that you have against mine is so different because somebody, out of their own goodness, give it to me, right? Is that what you would say about it?
I would wonder why, when things were going wrong for you, God did not respond until you came to Him.
Because I was stubborn, because I
Why?
wanted
What is
to
that?
fix my
But
situation.
why does that matter to God?
It matters. It's because we're made selfish.
No, we're not.
We as humans are flawed.
Jacob,
We as
Jacob,
humans are
Jacob,
flawed.
Jacob,
It is all
Jacob,
me,
stop
me,
for a
me,
second.
me, me.
Stop for a
I want
second.
my happiness. Sorry.
How is you trying to turn your life around being stubborn? How is that you being selfish? What are you talking about?
Because I didn't want to accept the help that was there. When
In
I
what
said,
sense?
okay, I'm
In
ready
what
for that
sense?
help,
In what sense did you not
out
want
of
to
my
accept
own
it?
pride, my own ego,
That doesn't explain
my
anything.
own.
You need to be clearer about what you're
It
talking about.
explains it.
Did somebody try to give you
How
help
much
and you
clearer
said
do you
no?
want me to?
Did somebody try to give you help and you said no?
It was more of me not wanting to ask for help.
Right. It was you not going to
Because
God.
I
Why
thought,
does God require us to grovel to help? Why does your all good, loving God who knows everything and sees everything require this from you? And then he turns it around and says that you're selfish for trying to do it on your own. You're selfish. That's insane. That's not true. It has nothing to do with selfishness to try to do something. It has nothing to do with that. It's crazy. You know what that is? It's abuse. If I had a relationship where somebody told me, you can't do it on your own, you must rely on me, it's abuse. That's that kind of relationship.
again, I say the worldview will see it differently than how I see it.
Can you explain why it is not abusive? Can you explain why it is not? That is why I have this view, right? I have a view that is dependent on like the things that I see. You have a view that's dependent on the things that you feel.
And to answer that is the differences between our lives.
No.
My experiences are so much different than yours,
No,
Sarah.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know what it was like to live in your shoes. You don't know what it was like to live in mine.
Has nothing to do with the question. Has nothing to do with the question. If you're in a relationship with somebody that requires you to rely on them for everything, is that good or bad? Is that what? How would you describe that relationship?
It is not good.
I'd describe it as toxic. I'd say you should leave that relationship. That's not good. But because you're in this cult, you believe that it's good. You believe that actually you can't do anything and you need this God that doesn't actually even exist.
All right? Because somebody relies on somebody full, right?
Nope. Because you
They
said
need
you
the
had
help.
to
Hold
go
on.
to the God. It's not relying on it's that you couldn't do it on your own. It's that you had to set down your pride and go to God and like ask for God's help. It makes no sense. It's not just like relying on somebody for help or something.
I don't know how else to explain it because this is exactly how it is. I was prideful. I am still prideful. I still try to do things on my own, and it still leads me to nowhere.
Why do you
But
get
the
punished
minute
worse
I
than I
turn,
do? I'm an atheist. I
I'm
don't go to God.
not
Why is my
being
life good? Why is
punished.
my life good? Why is my life good and I don't go to God?
Okay, if Satan already has me, why would he want to keep me down? If I am
Oh,
a
this excuse, right.
perfect image of God
I
himself,
don't understand. So
why
when you were
would,
not
you
following
know,
God, things were bad for you, and then you went to God and they got better, but I'm not following God and things are not bad for me, but it's because Satan doesn't care and he's not tormenting me like he was tormenting you. Why were you special in Satan's eyes?
because he doesn't have me.
Okay,
I'm striding to be better. I'm
was there ever
trying
a
my
time,
best to be
Jacob,
more
was there
like
ever a time you didn't believe in
Christ.
this God? It seemed like I thought you were implying that you had
Absolutely.
not believed in this God at some point, but now it sounds like you're
Absolutely,
saying
yes.
you always believed in the God.
There were times in my life that yes, I did not believe God. I
Okay.
hated him with my
Wait,
entire heart.
why would you hate something you don't believe exists? Why would you hate something that doesn't? So you believed that he existed, but you
Trauma,
hated him.
right?
Okay, so you never fully not believe.
Why?
So you think at some point, you think that because I fully don't believe, I'm trying to nail down what is the difference between me and you and everyone else that has all these different experiences where you're depending on magical things being like the cause of so many problems and good things in life, where I'm saying I don't see these effects. I see nothing about my life that seems like it's influenced by magic. And so I'm trying to figure out like where does it change, and is it simply a matter of belief? And that perhaps I'm sorry, I had some tea earlier and it's making me very bubbly or something, and maybe you like never fully stopped believing, and so therefore the devil toyed with you more. Is that kind of your point?
The only way I think I can answer this is to say yes. I grew up in church. I did want to leave before. I fell out of it because of the church trauma that I had, and especially when I was coming out, you know, the way people treat people in the church is very hypocritical. To me, the whole religious side of Christianity, it's very one-sided. Okay, well, if you're like me, then I can accept you, but if you're not like me, then I can't accept you.
Why do you
Right?
think that is, though?
Because I'm gay, some people believe, and it kind of goes back to how I feel about myself too. Because I am gay, I cannot produce families. If I get with a woman, I could have children of my own seed that I
Every
wouldn't
straight
have
person can have
to.
children too, right, Jacob? This isn't like some affliction. This is just a way that some people have to experience life. You can adopt, you can have other ways of having family. It's crazy that you think like this biological like thing that your God says is required. It doesn't make any sense. It's not a good thing to think. It just like spreads harm when you say these things. Well, we've been talking for about
Yeah,
30 minutes, Jacob, so I think I'm
I
gonna go to the
don't
next
know.
guest.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I appreciate you coming by, and I hope that you more. Okay, see you later. How's it going?
How you doing, bro?
Good.
My bad.
Oh, you're good.
Go ahead with your questions.
What's your age and religion?
26, Christianity.
Awesome. Did you say you had a question? Sorry.
No, I said you can go ahead with your questions.
Oh, sure. I guess I don't think that Christianity makes any sense. Like right now I'm wondering about why do so many Christians think that Jesus is coming back when it seems like the book indicates that he would come back within the disciples' lifetime? And it's been so long, it just seems very clear that it's not going to happen.
Well, that's the mystery. Nobody knows what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen when it's time. When he feels that everything is broken and keeps getting broken, he'll come back and restore it.
Okay.
But I honestly, to be honest with you, I have no clue. I'm not, I can't see in the future, so
Right.
I don't know his ways. It's a mystery. It's just I'll never figure it out. I'm still gonna have faith.
So like that doesn't make any sense to me, right? When I give
It doesn't have to make
when-
sense.
well, that's kind of the point of the show.
Well, I mean, you can think it's supposed to make sense, but it's a mystery.
Well, I don't believe in nonsense, right? Like I don't think that it makes sense to believe in nonsensical things. And so when somebody just tells
let me
me
ask you something.
that something's just
Why did
a
you-
mystery, I just
Well, why
say,
did
like,
you
well, that's
turn
not enough
trans?
for me. I didn't turn trans. I don't know why you need to bring this into bigotry land. We're talking about your
No,
religion.
then no. Hold on. That's what I'm asking. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just asking.
I know you're not trying. That's part of the problem. So and actually, honestly, why you're still here. Let's just talk about your religion. It has nothing to do with me.
Well, if you're asking why this, I'm going to ask why you're doing that. It's the same thing. Now, if you're going to get like
Evidence for your God making sense is not the same thing as my identity.
it is actually. It's a lot to do with that.
These idiots. I tried very hard to keep you on track. I don't want to talk about that. That's not your business. The topic is Christianity makes no sense. You agree with me, it makes no sense. And I tell you, well, I don't want to fucking deal with things that are nonsense. And then you say, well, why are you trans? That's like a huge red herring. Thank you, Crystal. Good to see you. Mezar, good to see you too. And it's good to see everybody else. Thank you. I've been noticing all the chat, all the talking, all the chat stuff. So I'm a little thrown off. I don't know why this is so important to people. Most of the beliefs atheists have come from Christianity or Christians. That's interesting because, like, I think very few of my beliefs come from Christianity or Christians. I don't believe in a God, right? I don't believe in honoring father and mother. It obviously makes sense. No, it doesn't. It makes sense that it's a religion, right? Like, I understand the concepts. Robert, you're an idiot. Come on up here and talk to me. Come on up here. Show me how it makes sense, you big boy. Yeah, show me how evolution proves God. Bring it to me. No. Yeah, you're not 18. That makes a lot of sense. No, none of those things have anything to do with Christianity, right? The doctrines within the book, the things that are taught, my life contains themes that some might find uncomfortable and has been restricted. Reason, harassment, and bullying. Probably that fucking Christian. It's not eligible for recommendation, restricted in search results in the next 10 minutes because your live does not comply with the For You feed eligibility standards for harassment and bullying. Unbelievable. I feel like I've been like really chill tonight. I don't know. Hey, Untucked Tag, thank you for the heart me. It's good to see you. Good to hear. Run away.
Hey,
Run away. Oh.
The trolls are out in full force tonight. I don't know if you saw, but over on Joyful Secular Perspective, they already had to shut down the live once because one of the co-hosts, Elizabeth, got reported for her cleavage showing. So they shut it down, restarted it, and she got reported again for her cleavage.
Oh, gosh. That's
Unreal. Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, they could just leave.
I know, but they're so bitter.
Mm.
They're just so mad. It's unreal. It couldn't ever be me. But anyway, yeah, that's all. I was just, yeah, they're out reporting tonight, so, but we'll be here.
Okay.
All right. Have a good show.
Thanks, dear. Yeah, tap the screen, share the live, do all that fun stuff. What is it Ian says? He's got it down to a science. Tap the screen, share the live, do all the fun stuff, I think is what he says. Something like that. Did he have an argument with one person 2 hours for 2 hours about the guy's mumbo jumbo? I fell asleep. I took a nap. I woke up and he was still going. That was really painful. Hey Schley, good to see you. Thanks for sharing the live. Okay, Robert, have a good one. Thanks for letting us know. We were all very worried. Oh, thank you very much. You too. Yeah, I think it was Lee. It was Lee. It was terrible. Right. Yeah, I didn't listen a lot. After a certain amount of time, it was like, this is so boring. I think what I don't like is that Phil Bros do this they do a lot of frustrated noises. You know, they do a lot of I can't believe you don't get this. Oh my bro, oh my god. And it's just ad hominems. The thatness is what that is. Exactly. That was very harsh. The thatness is what that is. The Philboard giggle drives me mad. I don't know why they all sound the same. I can't figure it out. It's entirely substanceless rhetoric, and it's so frustrating because it's the most annoying thing. They train together. In what sense? It's the most annoying thing that that you could do. I don't listen to I don't go to Darth Dawkins live and go yeah, this is the shit. This is the shit. Oh, look how forceful Darth is. He just yells at them and then tells them they're prevaricating. I don't do that. I don't know who does that. Mezzo, did you see Jacob? He came by. The Jacob you spoke to last night. He did not enjoy your convo with Joel. He was like, I don't know. Yeah, Darth came by here once. Asked me if I had a degree. I said I don't know what the relevance is. And then I think he asked me some other question. And then he got mad at me for prevaricating, and then he left. Does anyone have any ideas as to where Jesus is and why he's running so late? I think, as a Christian, I didn't really know. I don't really understand how I didn't understand the problems with it. He blocked me from mocking him when he was bragging about beating an AI in a debate. That's so Darth. That is so Gary. So Gary. I should enunciate that one. Oh yeah, terrible name. I'm sorry. I saw your comment. I should have busted in with it. Worked fast food before and gave away free food. Literally every time someone asked, God was not talking to me. Yeah, definitely enough about enough about him. No more guests. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have kicked. Did I kick them? Yeah, I kicked them because they kept. Oh yeah, no more guests because we're restricted. I don't know. Should I restart it or something? Oh, Mezzo's in the box. One moment.
Hello.
Hey, Mezzo.
Yeah, so there's like these big Philbro debate servers where they all hang out together in voice channels and that. And it's this thing
Where
where
they
like
run a
if
train. You were saying
you
they run a train?
yeah, they run trains on themselves. And if you kind of like speak up or lose your cool at all, they all just say you lost. And so they literally train themselves to just be like, bro, that's why it's like that. Like you have to kind of sound like you're half asleep. So that's like, I'm unfazed by this. And I don't know who started it. Like, I don't know who they're all copying, but it's so tedious to listen to. It's just so exhausting. It's the worst thing in the world. But they actually, like, no shit, they do that on purpose.
So that they don't break character. It's like a character, I guess. Probably played out.
Yeah, yeah, probably. That's so funny to like go to do a scene, like to make a video of like Plato and back then sitting on the steps. Just be like, bro, I said this is the thatness of ontology. I used to
Oh,
want to
what are you
do
not
one
getting?
of Aristotle, you know, same thing, like sitting on the steps of these like Roman pillars. And he's like, hey, everyone, these are my virtues. And then every like 4 seconds, he calls out to the crowd. And he's like, oh, thanks for the gift. Thanks for the super chat. Everyone, I appreciate that. Sorry, I just have to say 1 second. I'm going to get to these virtues. Thanks, Emmy519. I appreciate you. Just like calling out to them would be so funny.
That'd be a really good sketch.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't warned, by the way, that when Jacob was coming in, it was just like our first guest, and Joel and I were fully in goofball mode, and we're just having a good time. And I didn't know that it was like
I'm so
going through
sorry.
it. So no, it's. I mean, I know that he didn't end up having a lot of fun there, but I actually think that the conversation ended up really good.
Mm,
I don't like. I don't know if Jacob's going to get out. That's a hard thing, but I've heard of people who've been in before who do. So you know, we can kind of plant seeds. We all know that nobody's going to like hear one thing you say and go, "Oh, you're right. I'm going to change everything about my life right now and stop believing in this." It takes 2 years at least for someone to like process that kind of stuff. So hopefully they're at the beginning of their steps here. But you know, if not, there's not much else we can do. But I do think that it ended up being a good conversation, and we realized that there was some serious um, stuff going on. And honestly, at some point, with what Jacob has going on, I don't know if they're still here, but like probably real therapists would be more appropriate to talk to
yeah,
than like people on the internet.
yeah.
So you know, yeah, I don't know. We had a good time, and I think it was it was still a fun call. But yeah, I got a bunch of comments on my YouTube of people like, I just hope Jacob gets out. I hope they're okay. I hope they find their way away from this thing that is making them hate themselves and stuff like that. So we're all rooting for him.
Yeah, I was trying to have a convo with them earlier, before tonight, just tonight, and saying like I think that uh it's harm this relationship that you think you have with God is harmful. Like you think you can't do
Yeah.
anything without him and you hate yourself before it. Like it's not a good way. Like if anyone was relationship in real life, you'd be like, this is not for you. You should leave this person.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, and he's a real person. So I don't want to just like let him be some example, but it does show like how dangerous, you know, because we hear a lot of people be like, well, for the most part, we're just like liberal and Christianity's fine. And all we do is like go do this community thing. It's like, look what it does to people still, and they aren't realizing what they're like going through, and it's devastating to hear all that. So anyway.
What else is happening?
Anyway, the rest of the live was perfect. There were no other problems.
Yeah, that was
Joel
your
and I,
best one yet, right? Am I spacing on what show
Yeah.
it was? Was that the best one yet? Or was
uh,
that the one before? I can't
wait,
remember.
no, that was on Monday when Joel was there the whole time, and everything he said was the best thing in the world ever. I also got a lot of comments on my YouTube for that one of people saying this is the best show I've ever seen in my entire life. In fact, I probably got the most comments I've ever gotten on a YouTube video saying that. That might be true.
Yeah, I've been trying
I
to
don't know if
figure
I'll
that
bring-
out. I've been trying to figure that out. Y'all have a good sense of finding a theme or an idea and like running it through a show. So my theme tonight is Jesus is running late, but I just don't have any guests, so I can't ask them where he's at.
Yeah, you might need to end up doing a restart just because when you get that early flag. But I know I was hoping if I came up, something might happen, but I'm not all powerful.
Yeah, just all good.
Oh no! Oh God!
It's surely all
Mostly good.
Mezzo, have you
You know what I
heard?
was thinking about today?
Yes.
Like
No.
I've talked about how I used to steal and I don't anymore, but I still want to. I don't ever do it, but like every time I'm at a self checkout, I'm like I could run out of here. I could fuck this store. I could run out of here with this stuff. They're not watching, but I never actually do it. But I still get the urge to often to just take stuff.
Yeah, no one would know, Mezzo.
They'd never know, except that I would come on my live and be like, "Guess what I did today?" and tell everyone, and then like have a pity party about how guilty I feel about it now.
So have you heard? Oh, I can't find it now. Somebody the other day came up to me, and I was running the like contradiction background, and I was like, so
Yeah.
if God is all present and all powerful, he lacks the power to leave a room, sort of thing. And they're like, oh, that's not what omnipresent means. And they're like, yeah, it means this in theology, and it's like the capability to do things. And I'm like, what? And like I looked it up, and that's what I found, that definition. I'm like, I don't know how to. Why don't you ever get these things, Mezzo?
I do. So like they're wrong. I mean, the theology has redefined that because they realized that the explanation they were running with was a absolute contradictory failure. So they tried to weaken the meaning of the words. And so they're weakening the God a bit too, which is the way to do it. Like that's if you're going to still believe in God, you have to get rid of some of these omnis. And what they did is they got rid of the omnis, but they just they still called him that. They just changed the meaning of all, which is stupid. It's a dumb thing to do. And look, some people have really intricate ways of getting around it, but I've been working with it for a while. The omnimupotent thing, that video is about that. It's about people who do this like redefining of what it means and realizing that when you do these redefinitionalisms, that's a real word I made up right now, that it just weakens the word so much that it becomes so obviously not the right word for it. So what that guy that I was talking to with the cows was willing to say is like, one cow moos all day and all night, 24/7, 100% of the time. The other one only moos all day, and they're both all mooing. And he agreed to that. That's insane. That's like not like we've devalued the meaning of the word now to be just like utterly useless, and that's a cow joke.
Well, I mean, like I agree with you, but the thing that they were doing was like it's an entirely meaning. Like it's like nothing to do with all. It has to do with like the causation of things. It was just like I don't know how to argue against that.
Presence?
Yes.
Oh no, I don't know about that.
And I don't know how I
maybe
found
say
it. I don't know how I found it. They had me search for a very particular phrase, and it was like, oh yeah, this is a thing that like Augustine or some bullshit person like said. Okay.
Oh, so it's not about like a locational
Mm-mm.
existence, like they
Right.
are everywhere. It's yeah.
Yeah, the way that you would
I don't know
expect it
what it
to,
means
the
then.
word that it's made up of would mean those things, but like,
Yeah, the way that everyone understands it, and that's what they. So that's what I mean. So
yeah,
they did originally mean that at first. They said he's everywhere, right? That's what
yeah,
they meant by it. And then later they were like, that's not what we said that we meant by it anymore because we realized that was dumb. So I don't know what it means now. Like if omnipresent means it has to do with causality, it's probably something like every bit universe, like every location universe remain is like sustained by God. Like his existence what
yeah. I
holds
think that's kind
everything
of the
like
probably the
everything
idea.
together at once, but he's not there, so he's like doing it. He's doing like long distance sustainings of reality or something like that, which I guess is fine. Like if maybe you can sustain, I don't know. Do you have to be near reality to sustain it? I don't know. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
So
it didn't help because they
who
were a
knows?
Phil bro, so like I couldn't get them to really explain what they meant.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going like, so do you mean like every cause is ultimately rooted in God, or like what is this thing? And they're like, it's just the thing I said, bro. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't. I don't know. Like if they have a script or like if they just don't. It seems like when they're talking, they seem to understand what they're saying, but they don't understand it to like use any other words to like describe it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like they kind of understand. I was trying to figure this out today actually because I can hear the pattern. When you start every sentence with, well, when we say this, we what we take this to mean is what we say this to mean. Like you say a lot of filler. Like there's just so much filler of
Yeah.
like of saying nothing and then like occasionally throwing in words. But it's crazy because they do kind of make sense.
Yeah, and maybe they make more sense to each other, but like I majored in philosophy and I have no fucking clue what they're ever talking about. It's so like like intentionally, it's
Mm,
like what lawyers do. I've talked about
mm,
this before, how like in law they intentionally make it really complicated so that you have to pay a lawyer a bunch of money to, like to do it, so they're like, yeah, look how hard this is, you should pay me to do it. Like that's part of the litigious nature of the judicial system.
mm.
So that sucks, and I feel like that's what they're doing. But like, I don't know, that's what you should be able to explain it with cows. I don't know why if you can't. Not everyone is good at analogies,
Mm.
but try, give it a shot.
Is it um I'm curious about the legal thing if you know. Like it seems like that an outgrowth of the complexities of law, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, law is complicated. That's true. But like lawyers aren't gonna like try to make it seem like, hey, this is super easy. You got this, right? Like, no, you need my
Well,
help for
that's true.
this, right? Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's kind of the thing, and that goes for jobs too. Like, if I was gonna like do a bunch of yard work, and someone was like, how hard is it gonna be? I don't be like, it's honestly pretty easy. You could probably just do it yourself or hire someone else for cheaper to do it. No, I'm gonna be like, this is gonna be really intricate yard work. We got to get these leaves down to the thing. Like, like you kind of want that to happen.
I have a counter example. When I worked at like stores and someone would buy something and they'd be like, how much is it? I'd be like, oh, it's cheaper actually at Walmart or something right over there. If you want to go over there, it's cheaper.
Well, yeah, you're a bad employee. That's what I mean.
Oh,
Do you still
that's
work
fair.
there?
I don't
Did
want to
you
talk.
get
We don't
fired
need to.
from there?
Oh, we don't need to like really
Yeah,
get
see,
into
it's pretty
details.
obvious what went
Dogs
down.
and me.
Just imagine, I just imagine that happened one time and your manager was next to you like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
No, actually, what would happen is that the customer would get mad at me and be like, "I want to buy it now," and I'm like, "All right."
All right, idiot. I had to return that huge whiteboard at Target today and I didn't, it's so big. Did you see it? The
Yes.
like new one that I had?
Yeah, it was like the rolling
I
around or something.
Oh my God. I thought it was gonna be really cool. I'm in my garage, there's cracks on the floor, so it doesn't roll very quickly. Plus the wheels sucked. It was so janky and rickety, and it was like $85, which
Wow.
is like whatever, but like for $85 it shouldn't be. It was so crappy.
Hmm.
And so I was sending this back, and so yeah, they don't know that like Allah's dick was drawn on it. Like that might be, they might not have taken it back if that were the case. But yeah, I filled the thing out and I was like, this thing, it's in bad shape. I didn't have the box. I just took the whole thing in my car. They took it back actually. I was kind of surprised, but I was like, this is so bad. I never do that. Like I'm really ashamed to return stuff, but it was like this is too bad.
Yeah, for that price, it's not. It's hard to swallow.
Yeah. Wait, are you talking about
Uh,
Allah's dick or oh, with the price, the cost of the thing, right? The cost of the thing.
Cost of the thing.
And I already have a whiteboard. It was a dumb idea. All right. Well, I would love to stay longer. I hope that maybe some people came by from this little chat that we had. It's lovely speaking with you.
Yeah, thanks, Mezzo. You're
Um,
welcome anytime. Yeah, yeah. I think we
untucked.
got a few people. We're up to like 50 people now, which is close to high for me. I think on TikTok anyway.
Um, un, Untucked tag said if there was a pull down screen I could use, that would be cool. The one thing that was cool about that whiteboard that could have been interesting is it came with this like these sheets of paper that were whiteboard paper. So it was like a huge notepad, of like these papers and you could rip them off. So I could have like done drawings in the lives and then like auctioned them off and sent them as posters to people. Which I was like, man, that could actually be kind of fun, but people would have to give me their address, which I don't want. I like don't want that responsibility, anyways. And I don't know, like I'm not a shipping house, so it's not good of an idea. But it could have been fun. It's not a bad idea. I could consider like making some sort of a version of that. But yeah, send them to the guest. It's a great idea. Think about this. I'm sending this to your house. Think about it for a while. All right. Yeah, I should go. I have to go get my children and all that because they are important to me.
All right. Have a good night, Mezzo.
Have a good live.
Thanks. Well, for everyone that came in to see Mezzo, I'm is left, but I'm still here, and hopefully we'll get a guest that will talk to us, and we can talk about how Christianity makes no sense. Tonight's theme is that Jesus is running late. Where is he? What's taking him so long? The only biblical reason, hey lazy, the only biblical reason that I can see as to why you can say that Jesus takes so long is that he said you don't know the day or the hour. But he also said that he would be back before some of them had tasted death that were standing there. And so to me, this means you have a time frame of until the end of people's lives at some mysterious day and hour. But that's the time frame. Like that's just how like words work. And so, you know, it's if Jesus isn't telling the truth there, then it kind of makes sense that he's not back. Thank you for following me, everyone. Thank you for coming by. Not too much exciting right now. What's going on? It's Thursday. We had like 20 viewers on YouTube for like a split second. I don't know what happened, and then they all left. So I don't know if there was like a weird raid or something, and everyone was like, "This sucks." Have you considered words don't mean words to Christians? I have considered it. A lot of shit going on. That's true. I love when full bros say shit and they don't even know what the shit means. Agreed, terrible name. Maybe I should still do a restart. I made a video for my YouTube channel today. I released that, but it's not it's not where I want it to be, but I've been working on it for so long. I'm like, I can't. It's not that big of a video. Like, I can't do this anymore. I just needed to get it out. And so I feel a little ashamed, like, this is not my best quality, but I also feel kind of like, well, I got to get things out at some point. Miss Bear, good to see you from Finland. Instant egg rolls was said yay in my Discord and then never showed up that I could see. Drab, thanks for the heart me, and thanks to those that sent Mezzo. Goats and Roses. Goats and Roses sounds like a funny like song or something. Okay, this is going nowhere. I'm going to take a break. I'll try to come back at 5. Sounds satanic. It does. Goats and Roses sounds. Oh, I know what it is. It sounds like Bread and Roses. It sounds like Bread and Roses. Okay. I'm gonna take a break and try back around 5 in like 15 minutes. That's PST. Oh no, I've dogs to myself. Boats. Boats and hoes.
There, and it gave me like a proper like routine and schedule. That way I could actually like try to approach this as an actual job, like try to see if I can make this thing a thing and like actually like maybe make a dream possible.